Hi, we did our project on Kraft, which is a GAAP company, versus Nestle, which is an IFRS company, and Budweiser, GAAP company, versus Diageo, which is an IFRS company. And these are the guys in my group. So Kraft, it's GAAP, as it's an American grocery food company with corporate headquarters in Deerfield, Northfield, and Northfield Township, Illinois. It was founded in 1923 under the name of National Dairy Products Corporation. This corporation has representation in most of the world food markets. This company's focus is the food market, and its most famous brands are Oscar Mayer, Philadelphia, and Jello.
So this company is essentially an IFRS company. This company is based in Switzerland with their headquarters in Vevey, same country. So this company it's a food and beverage company that serves all the 5 continents, and their main market is the food market with products such as Crunch, Nestle Crunch, Handas, only in the US, and Smarties. They also operate in the non-alcoholic beverage market with their main product that is Nespresso and Poland Spring, the water company. And this Nestle is the largest company in the world measured by revenues.
The next company is a GAAP company, Budweiser. Budweiser was introduced in 1876, and it solely operates in the United States. Budweiser has 12 breweries nationwide. Its only market is the beer market, and among its products are Budweiser, Black Crown, Select, and Select 55.
Diageo is another international company that follows the IFRS accounting standards. It's a British multinational alcoholic beverages company with its headquarters in London. It is the world's largest producer of spirits, and it's a major contributor in the world of beer and wine also.
Next is the key differences between GAAP and IFRS. First is the titles and the terminology. So, for example, IFRS has share capital ordinary versus GAAP, which uses common stock. Another example is liquidity. GAAP has cash at the top, whereas IFRS has cash at the bottom, so it's a reverse order. And fair value is the biggest difference between these two things. GAAP uses historical cost, and its advantages it can fully depreciate, and its disadvantage is if the market tanks. IFRS uses fair value, but it's not as consistent because the price changes yearly.
So those differences are allowed by 3 things. The first one, that the IFRS are considered a more standard, more principle-based accounting companies in front, and the US GAAP companies are more like rules-based companies. The second one is that IFRS are it's one step method for accounting write-downs. Meanwhile, the US GAAP companies are operating a 2-step method. And third and last, IFRS guidance regarding accounting recognition, it's less extensive than the US GAAP companies.
In our opinions, from what we learned and what we researched, we believe that US GAAP is easier to understand, and we think that the biggest reason behind it is the historical cost, and our thinking behind that is its historical cost makes US GAAP more consistent. So on their financial statements, the amounts are going to be the same from year after year. So when an investor is looking at the financial statements of the company or multiple companies, they'll see the same number instead of a bunch of different numbers.
We believe that U.S. GAAP is also the more transparent of the two. This is because IFRS requires 5 financial statements that include the balance sheet, the income statement, the statement of retained earnings, the cash flow statement, and the footnotes. On the other hand, U.S. GAAP requires 6 financial statements, which include the balance sheet, the income statement, the statement of comprehensive income, the statement of retained earnings, the cash flow statement, and the footnotes. In our opinion, the more financial statements that are required, the more accurate a company's profits can be accounted for. So we're excited.